You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show podcast on KPEL965.com.
For those fortunate enough to help the person who has always been their hero, find the care guides you need to help at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Breaux Bridge, Lafayette, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pros studios. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
He left controversy behind. I'm Dave Anthony. Fox News President Biden is in Africa, starting a 3-day trip to Angola. He left last night, right after issuing a pardon for his son Hunter, saying in a statement his son was singled out in selective prosecutions motivated by politics. Fox's Madeline Rivera is at the White House.
The president's full and unconditional pardon spans 10 years. It does not just cover Hunter's federal gun and tax charges, for which he was supposed to be sentenced later this month. It covers any other crime the first son may have committed from January 2014 to December 2024. And that period covers Hunter's time on the board of the Ukrainian energy company Burisma.
Now, House Republicans have spent years investigating Hunter's overseas business dealings and the Biden family's involvement. So Congressman Warren Davidson tells Fox Business more pardons could be coming.
I think the other part of the tell will be, does it expand to other members like Jim Biden and Joe Biden himself?
President-elect Trump calls the Hunter Biden pardon abuse and a miscarriage of justice. Closing arguments are about to get underway this morning in New York City at Daniel Penny's trial, charged with murder and manslaughter in an incident last year on a train. He claims self-defense, but prosecutors say
went way too far, recklessly placing 30-year-old Jordan Neely in a chokehold on a New York subway train for nearly 6 minutes, causing Neely's death. Several eyewitnesses testified in this case that Neely, who was homeless, on drugs, and suffering from mental illness, caused them to fear for their lives after he entered the subway car, threw his jacket down, and began yelling.
Fox's Chandler Painter outside the court. An American Israeli soldier has been confirmed dead in Gaza, where Omer Nutra was held hostage. So it turns out he was killed and his body taken by Hamas in last year's terror attack that led to mass kidnappings. There's a lot of this going on in the Great Lakes region. Snow blowing and shoveling and plowing after some areas got buried by days of lake effect snow. Parts of Michigan got almost 3 feet, 5 to 6 feet of snow in some locations of Ohio, Pennsylvania, and western New York. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Police officer and K-9 handler Jacob Russell Chaffins was fatally shot while attempting to serve warrants for domestic violence offenses. And thanks to friends like you and your generosity, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation gave the Chaffins family the gift of a mortgage-free home. There's so much more to do and to say thank you to our nation's heroes and their families for their immense sacrifices, all for us. Donate $11 a month. Go to their website, the letter T.
Get ready for something fresh and exciting with the Josh Guillory Show. Josh Guillory brings a new perspective to the airwaves, analyzing news and issues coming out of Baton Rouge in Washington, D.C., and breaking down how they affect you. Engaging, raw, and informative, Guillory knows how to have fun while delivering the latest in politics and current events. With daily features that entertain and inform, you won't want to miss a single episode. The Josh Guillory Show, 4 p.m., Monday through Friday, only on News Talk 96.5, KPEL.
My suit can still make an impression.
And my lamp can bring others a bright future.
Because when I donate my stuff to Goodwill, it helps fund job placement and training for people right in my community.
Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Bikers Against Child Abuse empowers children to not feel afraid of the world in which they live. For more information, visit BACAworld.org. Our helpline is 866-885-9474. BACA, breaking the chains of abuse.
This hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by Champines, located in the Oil Center. Champines, going the extra mile.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Hi, hello. Welcome, Moon Griffon Show. It is great to be back with you. Hope you had a blessed, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you got to see the family, and I hope it all went well for you anyway. 844-766-6607. Of course, as always, a Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. And, yes, we got 2 weeks of Cane River Pecan giveaway. That's right. All this week, all next week. J.D. Regard is going to be in here on Wednesday. So we do have that. And I'll broadcast out of Shreveport tomorrow. My good friends at Kiel. We're speaking tomorrow night at the Republican Women's in Bossier, Ms. Jane Smith and his group. And looking forward to that. Always a lot of fun with that group. So I have no idea what I'm going to tell them, but so hopefully something will come up. All righty, we're joined by Representative Tony Bacala, who joins us. Tony, how you doing?
Doing great this morning, Moon. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Well, I had a lot of people talking to me about amendments. Of course, a lot of people voted early. That's over, but the main vote is this Saturday. And I appreciate you taking a few minutes to come explain what the 4 amendments do. And that's what we got you here for you. And like I said, I appreciate you taking a few minutes this morning. And I know a couple of these amendments, I think, had your name all over them. But let's do this first. Let's do Amendment 1 first. Just people say they can't, they're confused, and they don't understand. What I need you to do is explain what the amendment is, and then if you can, voting for it does what, and voting against it does what.
Okay, Moon. Well, Amendment number 1 has to do with the discipline of judges. Okay, and I think a couple months ago we saw a judge who was running for office, and they were some allegations, and obviously it was a slowly unfolding investigative conclusion. Well, that's a problem. I think everybody agrees that our Judicial Commission is much too slow to act, and you have to consider who's on it. You have 3 judges who are appointed by the Supreme Court. Then the Court of Appeals appoint 3 attorneys, and you have 3 non-attorneys appointed by district court judges. So it's heavily populated by attorneys and judges. And also the Supreme Court doesn't get to initiate any investigations that may, with allegations that may come to their attention. So what this does, it broadens out who's on it. It's not just going to be judges and attorneys with a few judge-appointed non-attorneys. The governor will have an appointment, the House will have an appointment, and the Senate will have an appointment, bringing it from 9 to 14. And the Supreme Court will have more authority to jump in and initiate investigations themselves. And the idea is it's broken now, and it needs to be fixed, and hopefully adding some new blood to that Judiciary Commission will kind of get them moving a little quicker and a little more decisively.
Yeah. So that's basically very simple. And I'm not going to ask you how you feel on these, I know you got a couple of them coming up. I know how you feel, but I'm just kind of curious. That is this something that people are fighting against? Because you're not going to have a big turnout on this election.
No, nobody. I haven't heard any voices fighting against this. And, one of the things, I guess, if any group were going to fight against it, it would be the judges who would be most affected, but they're precluded by law from getting involved in any of these things. So I think that the no opposition is a pretty good sign that it's a step in the right direction to hold our judges accountable for the decisions they make, both inside and outside the courtroom.
Yeah. All right. What about Amendment number 2?
That's mine, Moon. One of my favorites. Number 2, a little history. Go back last year, 2023, the regular session. When we were asked to pass $50 billion appropriations bill with a long set of amendments that were through concurrent resolution, not concurrent resolution, the amendment process, the conference committee report, and we weren't given a chance to read what we were doing before we did it. I mean, that's the main impetus here. Should the legislature have the opportunity to read these complicated amendment sets before we're forced to vote on the bill? And what's happened is you kind of weaponize the end date. We're required by the Constitution to pass a budget. But when we don't have time to read it and we're 33 minutes away from the end of session, And it's just an impossible situation for good government. It goes back to what Nancy Pelosi said. If you remember what she said, we have to pass the bill so you can find out what's in it.
Yes.
Affordable Care Act, that's how it is at the state of Louisiana right now, unless we change these rules and say 48 hours layover so we can understand what we're voting on before we're allowed to vote on it. Let me tell you, it was so bad, Moon, that a couple of weeks after the session ended, the Senate Finance Committee held a meeting to figure out what we had passed. They spent over 3 hours trying to decipher these amendment sets and still had questions at the end of that committee meeting. And we were asked to do exactly that, understand all these amendments within about less than 30 minutes, and it's just impossible. I really like, as a legislator, I want to know what I'm voting on before I vote on it, and we weren't allowed to do that.
By the way, I remember that was not last year. This year in the current session, this was under Bella. It was his last year with Sheikh Snyder and Blank Page Cortez. So yes, I want to make sure we said it wasn't this year. This was last year, 2023. That was a disaster.
I'll give credit to the current leadership, even though it isn't set in Constitution or in statute. So many of us raised hell about it. They actually provided us with the opportunity 48 hours in advance to read and understand and decipher those amendment sets, the conference committee amendments, before we were allowed to vote on it. So they did the right thing this year. But too many times in the past, it hasn't been that way.
Yeah, I just remember the disaster the year before, last year, which I say last year, 2023. All right, amendment number 3.
Well, it kind of is a companion to amendment number 2, even though either one can stand alone. Even with 48 hours, when you're given 48 hours to read and understand that conference committee amendment set, you're still under the gun if you have moments left in the session to vote yes, because voting no would mean you have to start the process all over again in a special session. So to remove the pressure to vote yes on a conference committee or on a bill that you're really not too crazy about, this says you don't have to go back, start all over again, spend 3 weeks in special session on the budget. You can extend sessions for 2 days, in 2-day blocks up to 6 days. To get it right, it's the two. If you look at amendment number 2 and amendment number 3, it would revolutionize the way we do budgets, because it would truly allow us to see what we're voting on and the ability to say no to a budget without having to come back into a special session.
Yeah. So you think those are pretty simple, right?
Well, they're simple. I just hope that the people of Louisiana recognize this is truly good government policy, that we don't want to fall into that Nancy Pelosi trap of voting for something we don't know what's in it, and we don't want to fall into a trap of the end of session deadline where we have to vote yes, or we're under pressure to vote yes to avoid a special session.
Yeah. All right. Amendment number 4.
Number 4 has to do with delinquent ad valorem taxpayers, right? So if you don't pay your property taxes on time, which is December 31st, before May 1st, your debt, so to speak, is sold at a sheriff's tax sale, where individuals can buy a percentage of your property just by paying the taxes. It's a bidding system, so the bidders bid down. They will start at 100% ownership of your property for paying taxes, and it can go down even below 1% ownership. But at the end of the day, someone is buying ownership in your property for you failing to pay your taxes. Now, the homeowner, the property owner, has 3 years to redeem that property in most cases. I think if it's blighted property or abandoned property, it's 18 months before the person who buys that can actually assert claim of ownership fully. We're one of the few states that does it that way. So instead, what we're trying to do in this amendment is say, rather than buying interest in the property or buying the property for the cost of taxes, the people would be buying a lien. So somebody would be paying your taxes for you, and they would have a lien on your property. And in order for that lien to be cleared, kind of the rates are the same. It's 5% plus 1% per month. And a lot of this constitutional amendment was a result of a year-long study. I think Senator Greg Miller put together a group of all the interested parties, the sheriffs who conduct the sales, the online sales component, legislators, title companies, looked at a 2023 Minnesota Supreme Court case that kind of dealt with the shortfalls, and they decided this is a better way to do it. It's kind of the way most states do it, so we're trying to fall in line and say, if someone pays my taxes because I'm delinquent, and I'm not, but if they were to do that, then I owe them, as a lien, I owe them that money back for a pretty high interest rate.
Okay. So these amendments are pretty simple, self-explanatory, wouldn't you say?
Well, I say that, but, one of the things in the legislature you get is a whole bunch of phone calls asking, tell me about this amendment. So, it's hard to understand it if you're just looking at that few lines that appear on the ballot. I tell everybody, go look at the PAR guide. They really do an excellent job, PAR does, in explaining the amendments in a nonpartisan way, giving you arguments for and against the amendments.
I think it's par.org, and I would agree with you. PAR's done a good job with amendments. They usually say that's what it does. For, if you vote for or against it, and if people really want to know, I've been sending them to PAR as well. I don't always agree with PAR, but I think PAR, when it comes to the amendments, they do a really good job. All right, Tony, listen, it's always a pleasure, man. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Moon.
All right, Representative Bacala, thank you, man. All right, got to take a break. More to come, Moon Griffon Show. Yes, I know all about the Joe Biden pardon. And yes, we will talk about it. I got some state stuff, national stuff, mixing in left and right today. So if you want to be part of it, don't forget Moon at moongriffon.com. If you want to win some pecans, don't forget to register with your name and address. We'll be right back. When you think about how you'll spend your money in retirement, what comes to mind? Probably travel, sunny beaches, and spoiling your grandchildren. But a recent survey found that over 30% of every dollar a retiree spends goes to taxes. Baby boomers were told for years to save money in their IRAs and 401ks and pay taxes later. Well, now that day has arrived, and boomers are shocked to see a third of their money going back to Uncle Sam. John Blanchard and the Matthew James Financial Group can help. What if you could protect all or most of your retirement wealth from future tax rate increases? Achieve a zero or near zero effective tax rate for most of your retirement years. Find out more. 337-366-8366. Isn't it time you got a second opinion on your wealth and retirement outlook? Learn how you could potentially kick the IRS out of your IRA. 337-366-8366 and online at MatthewJames.com. Folks, I've turned to Cane River Pecan Company for my personal holiday gifts for so long, I can't even remember when we started. The ordering is so easy, and the compliments I receive last all year long. They featured an outstanding selection of flavored pecans, pralines, and their famous boudin pie. And I love working with another family-owned Louisiana-based company. Trust me, folks, you got to give some pecans from Cane River Pecan Company. Look them up online at caneriverpecan.com. Now open our new pie bar, a 55-seat cafe on Main Street in New Iberia's historic district. Line One is a business telecom provider. Line One specializes in cloud-based communication with superior customer service. If you're frustrated with phone bills you can't understand, endless hold time to customer support, and phone system that is not meeting your needs, then you need to go to Line.1 and schedule a free consultation to advance your business phone system. Line One, technology with a human touch. Go to Line.1 and tell them Moon sent you. Again, that is Line.1.
2.
Hello, welcome back, Moon Griffon Show. I am excited. Great to be back, man. Really it is. In Shreveport tomorrow. Just man, you take a few days off, man. You just kind of rejuvenated and excited. And, life is good. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline, 844-766-6607 is the number. It is James Carville running his fat mouth again. I'll get to that, man. I got this and state news and national stuff. I'm just loaded up with all kind of stuff. The pardon by Joe Biden. No, really, anybody really surprised? The media, we're surprised. Walker, you got that one clip? Is Biden's press secretary, and she was pressed on many, many times. I've been lying for years about that. Everybody knew they were going to do this. And what's amazing is the media ought to be mad they went after Trump as much that it did false, bad accusations. They could have went after Hunter Biden for 50 things and got him on all of it. And they went after Trump for nothing and 2 impeachments. You remember that psycho Bill Cassidy? Those impeachments, which were all made up in BS. So let me tell you something. When Trump comes in and pardons the J6, January 6th crowd group, I think he ought to come in and pardon every person involved in that. Every single one of them. And I don't want to hear nothing from the media and the Democrats. I don't want to hear nothing from them. Trump ought to come in and pardon every single one of those people. Every single one of them. Let them go. Because everybody knows Hunter Biden, there's no telling what Hunter Biden's really guilty of. Because we're never going to find out now, and I'm sure Trump's going to move on, and I'm ready to get to. But here was the denying by the media and the Pierre and all of them. Here she is.
Second one, will the president pardon or commute his son if he's convicted?
So I've answered this question before. It was asked of me not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I was very clear, and I said no.
Okay. Let me go back to the first question of the briefing. I know you said not a lot's changed since yesterday, and that it's a personal matter, but from a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
You've also said several times that the president would not pardon or commute sentences for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying he would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no, and I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
Baby, I lied. Listen, let me explain this, and this is what I don't understand about how people vote around the country. Joe Biden, Obama, Democrats, and the media lie about everything that's going on in this country. They are lying. Let me tell you something. I've said this. The party of filth and hate has become an evil, evil, evil party for people who love life and love freedom. They are evil. They've been lying to blacks for 50, 75 years, just lying to them. Both of us, we're going to make you prosper. They're lying about what abortion really is, the wiping out of a baby, the killing of a baby. They lie to people. People buy into their lies. They lied about the illegals coming over here. And look at the problems we have. They lie about what's coming across that border. They lie about the drugs. They lie about the deaths. They lie about the rapes. That party, Biden and all of them in the media, folks, they outright lied. They lied about COVID. They lied about masks. They lied about 6 foot distance. You know, it's all coming out. I don't understand people voting for something with a D by it. If Republicans did do stupid stuff, maybe we wouldn't. But Democrats in the major party and the major players in Washington, D.C. and governors, they lie. Bill Edwards was a liar. These people just outright lie because they know they got the media. They lie about this Green New Deal and the planet's burning up. 100% is a lie. They lie about carbon capture. They lied about windmills. They lied about solar farms. They lied about green energy. They lie about the economy. They lie on the numbers on the economy. They lie about inflation. Folks, these people don't do nothing but lie, and yet American people line up and vote for them all the time. They shouldn't have won a House or a Senate race. Not one. And they still lying. That epitomizes who they are right there, what you just heard. That's who they are. Liars. Anyway, we'll take a break. Be right back. With 5 Louisiana locations, I always make it a point to visit Superior Grill when I'm traveling in the great state of Louisiana. I love the food there. It's authentic Mexican food with a Louisiana twist. Their menu has all your favorites: nachos, quesadillas, enchiladas, tacos, fajitas, hand-cut steaks, and the best margaritas in the state. You can go to Superior for lunch or dinner, and folks, you're going to thank me for it. My lovely bride and I eat at Superior Grill every chance we get. They're on Line Avenue in Shreveport, Government Street and Highland Road in Baton Rouge, St. Charles Avenue in New Orleans, and on College Saloon in Lafayette. I'm talking great food, great service, and great margaritas. The best Mexican food with the Louisiana twist is found at Superior Grill, Shreveport on Line Avenue, Baton Rouge on Government Street and Highland Road, New Orleans on St. Charles Avenue, and College Saloon in Lafayette. This is Moon Griffon. I'll see you at Superior Grill. This is Moon Griffon. My good buddy Jeff and the folks at Hudco Roofing and Exteriors is Louisiana's premier professional roofing contractor, specializing in residential roofing services. Remember, your roof protects everything, you and your family, and most of your possessions. And that's where Hudco Roofing comes in. These folks aren't just your average roofers. They're the #1 roofing company in the state. Whether you need a repair or brand new roof, Hudco Roofing has you covered. Hudco is a CertainTeed Select Shingle Master and takes every roof all the way down to the decking to make sure there are no hidden damages. Hudco Roofing is also a state-certified installer of the Fortified Roofing System, and that's a big deal. Anywhere in Louisiana, you can get a free roof inspection and quote from Hudco Roofing. Go to HudcoRoofing.com for quality workmanship, premium products, and unparalleled customer service. This is Moon Griffon. I trust Hudco Roofing of Louisiana, and so should you. HudcoRoofing.com. That's HudcoRoofing.com.
Hello, Acadiana. Bikers Against Child Abuse, BACA, exists with the intent to create a safer environment for abused children. We exist as a body of bikers to empower children to not feel afraid of the world in which they live. We stand ready to lend support to our wounded friends by involving them with an established, united organization. We work in conjunction with local and state officials who are already in place to protect children. We desire to send a clear message to all involved with the abused child that this child is part of our organization and that we are prepared to lend our physical and emotional support to them by affiliation and our physical presence. We stand at the ready to shield these children from further abuse. We do not condone the use of violence or physical force in any manner. However, if circumstances arise such that we are the only obstacle preventing a child from further abuse, we stand ready to be that obstacle. If you'd like to know more about BACA, please visit our website at bacaworld.org or call 1-866-71-ABUSE.
This hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by Champines, located in the Oil Center. Champines, going the extra mile.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you back with us. 844-766-6607. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline, MatthewJames.com. Let me take a phone call. Let's go to Keith in Lafayette. Keith, what's going on?
Hey, good morning, Moon. Hey, great American patriot. We appreciate all you do every day. Listen, my mother used to tell me when I was young, you're a product of your environment. The people who vote for Communist Harris and Bill Edwards, those people, they are indoctrinated with the communist view, the CNN, the Communist National Network. All these networks are bought and paid for. Listen, if that's all you're watching, that's all you know.
Yep, that's true.
You know, I'm an elected official with the State Central Committee with the Republican Party, and I can tell you, when you run for office, people get to take shots at you. Mm-hmm. They get to lie about you. That needs to change. There needs to be liability. People need to be held accountable for lying about candidates. That law needs to change where you can't get away with that, and the information will change. What has to change in this country, and look, I think Donald Trump is spot on. We're going to get rid of this deep state, which the left will tell you. And it's not the left. Okay, there's no more Democratic Party. And I got friends that are Democrats. It's the Marxist Party, and people need to wake up.
Absolutely.
And hopefully this administration will expose all these things that have deep-rooted for the last
Keith.
Well, Obama's got now what, his third term?
Yeah, Keith, but let's be blunt. And you know what I'm getting ready to tell you, you're going to agree. The reason the Democrats and the Marxists and the Communist Party are being exposed is because of Donald Trump. Donald Trump came on the scene, and we saw exactly the lies and made-up stuff. And unfortunately, the Psycho Bill Cassidys all went along with them. The Never-Trumpers, they bailed out. Trump lost the House and the Senate because they were bailing out Russia. All that made-up lies. With this lie right here, if we just go back to when Trump came on the scene and he won, and the lies started building, he exposed the press. He exposed the media. That's why I'm giving him credit. Just by him coming on the scene, he's exposed. When he called them, what did he call the media? Fake news? That blew them away. But you know what?
Hey, listen,
he was on the money.
Perfect example moving forward. I think I counted 14 times Joe Biden and Jean-Pierre, the press secretary, lied about him over the last few months. He's never going to pardon his son, Hunter Biden. Another lie. I can't wait to see the View, and because I watch them all just to have a perspective.
Sure.
How they're going to spin this one.
Tell you what, you're a better man than me. I can't watch that. and the reason I can't, there's so much.
I don't eat.
There's so much ignorance that comes out of a program like that.
Before I watch them.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But there's so much ignorance that comes out of this, not truth, and all these people that were going to move when Trump won. I saw where a couple of them, Ellen DeGeneres moved. Was it George?
Paid her ticket.
Yeah, George Clooney. I always say these people that want to move that are Marxists and communists, I'll do some of the driving and chipping on the gas. I'd be glad to get them over that they promise not to come back.
Too much money on the American people. Why would they move? They can't go to Russia or China and make this kind of money by screwing people over.
Nope.
Are you kidding me? That's Hollywood, man. They're fakes. They lie for a living.
Well,
they make movies for a living. They're not real productive people like you and I.
Let me ask you a question. Don't you think, though, with Biden and I played a clip of his press secretary, but don't you think that right there epitomizes the whole Democrat Party? I'm talking about the power structure. I'm talking about people that register voters.
That's my point.
Yeah.
And they lie so much, they try to get to the American people. Look, just think of your son or my son is convicted of a DUI with a homicide. He's got to do his time.
Yep.
I mean, Hunter Biden I hate to say this about a human being, but he's a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
That the whole family has just raped America.
Remember
for
this,
so
though.
long.
Remember this.
And
You're talking about the head of the Democrat Party, the president of the United States, that I'm convinced now after watching, he got 81 million votes, 15 million more than Obama and them got. That I know they cheated Trump now. We know. Matter of fact, I want Donald Trump to send lawyers out to the swing states and go back and look at the 2020 and look at the votes and see where they got to have 2 signatures and all that. Go back and count how many bad votes there were there. I bet you if he did that, I wouldn't be shocked because I know that's what happened.
But, it's a blessing that he didn't win the second time because now the world and America has gotten an opportunity to see what the Marxist Party really provides. Transgender mutilation, not only support abortion, but promote it, late term, whatever. This crisis on the border is just unbelievable. I'm 68 years old, grew up in the Marine Corps. I cannot believe what's going on at the border. And I cannot wait until Holman puts this Marxist mayor in jail in Colorado.
Yeah, I saw
it. Can you believe this guy harboring, and they're lying about the Trinidad.
Remember when you say lying, we're talking about Democrats. By the way, I'll let you go with this. I have a mom baking with her daughter, and the daughter goes, "Why is everybody talking about January 20th?" And the mom goes, "It's okay. We can go back to 2 genders and sanity, honey." And that is a lot of truth to that. Even Democrats that don't believe in all that stuff are saying the same thing. We need some sanity, man. Anyway. All right, Keith, got to run.
God bless you, brother.
Thanks for the call, man.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you. I thought that was funny, man. We can go back to 2 genders. We get out of this Green New Deal, get out all this money. But, I was reading today, there was an article, and I'm telling you, folks, the lies. And this is what they've done in 4 years, and this is the part, and I ain't going to say me and Keith disagree, but because he didn't say this, but the reason I'm saying this is if you just go back and look at what Biden has done for 4 years, and Obama basically, what they've done to 4 years to hurt us, the federal judges, the gender. I saw where the Keystone Pipeline, they said, not easy to restart it after what Biden has done. Let me tell you something else. I've said it, and I've been saying this. Illegals that are over here, they're so embedded in our school systems and everything, you can't just go run them all off. I mean, I hope you can, but I don't think it's going to work that way because they know if they brought in 20 million, we'd never get rid of all these people. There's no way. They embedded that. Look at what your government under the Democrats are doing, and that's why it's evil. We got 100,000 plus down from fentanyl coming across the border. That's all on Biden and the Democrats. 100,000. They don't care because it's not their kids. People are being raped, 10-year-old, 12-year-old. We've had at least 2 or 3 rapes in Louisiana. They don't care. They don't care. That's what they killed 65 million babies, and they're trying to kill another 65 million babies in abortion. They telling us that boys, Bill Edwards, our own governor, vetoed a bill that they had to override because he vetoed a bill that wanted to let boys go in girls' bathrooms in Louisiana. Then they had to go back and do a veto override session to beat a bill because he wanted to let 10-year-olds get their penises cut off. That was John Bel Edwards. That's the damn Democrat Party. An agenda and this climate thing ought to drive everybody nuts. And I wish the oil and gas people would step up and say, keep your money and keep your credit. We don't want no more of this lie. No, they're going to keep it because they want the money. Giving them legitimacy and another big lie. The wearing a mask that you can buy at a grocery store going to protect you from a virus? Look, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. That's stupid to even think of. That's what the Democrats put on. Some stupid Republicans joined them. 6-foot distance on the airborne. My God, give me a break. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I knew that was a lie. And as far as the vaccine, I'm not going to comment on that because there's 2 sides of that equation as well. So the lies of illegals are helping this country. Illegals are destroying it. Things are going up. The lies about inflation. We got an economy where inflation has gotten up so high, the average person can't afford their bills. They got record credit card. And the Democrats think this is great. Oh, well, things might be because they're trying to, save the planet so it don't burn up. That's a lie. When are people going to wake up? I tell you who's waking up. Black men. Black men are waking up. They're going, you bunch of Democrats, black and white men, lying to us. And black men woke up, and some of those, and a percentage of them voted for Donald Trump. I don't know where the black women are, but the black men are waking up. They understand. What has the Democrat Party done for blacks? I tell you what they've done. They've kept as many as they could in inner cities. That's what they've done for blacks. Everything they touch is evil and against America. Everything. Obamacare. What a joke. That's trash. But yeah, there they are, proud of Obamacare. We can't get rid of it because of Republicans like John McCain and Mitt Romney and Psycho Bill Cassidy and people like this. It's amazing to watch. But the Keystone Pipeline, now we may have a problem. Planning to try to do something to restart it. Keystone Pipeline was intended, everybody knows, from Canada, U.S. Billions. Listen, they invested billions of dollars, and Biden came in and said, all you workers go home, to hell with you. Once you invest billions and you lose, you walk away. It's hard to go back and invest billions because a Democrat, unfortunately, could win again one day, which is devastating. Let's take a break. 844-766-6607. Don't forget, Cane River Pecans. Giveaway, moongriffon.com. Listen live, say you want to win. Put your address. Matter of fact, I got to do 2 because I didn't do one Friday. I wasn't here. 2 giveaways today. Take a break. Be right back. been telling you about Schumacher Homes for a long time. Now, for a limited time, you can choose from 5 different financing offers and pick one that works best for you. Whether you're an active duty, military, or veteran, you can take advantage of the exclusive VA construction loan offer. You can lock in 30-year fixed financing for as low as 3.875. How about that? Looking to stay in your home and start construction right away? A stay-in-your-home loan might be right for you. With this option, you can stay in your home during construction and not worry about moving twice. And for you first-time home buyers, we're not going to forget you. For a limited time, they're offering 30-year fixed financing as low as 3.875. Other financing offers include no-cost refinancing, conventional loans, and FHA construction loans. If you're thinking of building your dream custom home, there's no time like the present to start building. SchumacherHomes.com. SchumacherHomes.com. Let them build your dream home. They're building dream homes one at a time. Hey, folks, if you worry about your smile and your teeth and you need some cosmetic work, I got the guy for you. His name is Dr. Bruni with over 20 years of experience.
Hey, Dr. Bruni here with Pearl Dental Group. Are you struggling with missing teeth, failing teeth, or uncomfortable dentures? Our same-day full-mouth implants can transform your life in just one visit. Using 4 to 6 implants, our patients leave with a permanent new smile in just a few hours. Our world-class facility and experienced team utilize the latest technology, including 3D imaging and digital smile design to deliver stunning results that look and feel natural. With our in-house lab, we can complete your entire implant process from start to finish in one location, saving you time and money. If you're ready to rediscover the joy of smiling and chewing with confidence, contact us today.
Pearl Dental Group is the one you need to know. PearlDentalGroup.com. Trust me, you want to smile again and you want to see them beautiful teeth? Pearl Dental Group is the one you need to know. Go to PearlDentalGroup.com, PearlDentalGroup.com.
This portion of the wall.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. A couple other things on this. Folks, you're welcome to make a comment on this. It's amazing, and that's why I'm hoping Trump will literally let every J6 person that they charge, and some of it was really bogus. With Hunter Biden, they could really go in his background, and there's no telling how long they could keep arresting him and charging him. And it's a mafia type deal with the Democrat Party. And you ain't got to agree with me. You can think it's just the Democrats. They just sweet. No, they're not. They're not. They're not anymore. They lie about everything. They look if Black America would look at what the Democrats have did to them with abortion clinics, 2/3 or 3/4 of all abortion clinics are in the inner cities. And it was designed to destroy black children. I mean, the white lady that did with Democrats, and they still supporting Democrats. And the media. God, the media. How horrible can you get in our national media? So, I just looking at this going to lie. They just, it's nonstop, running up debt. Ask Chucky Schumer, by the way, he's losing his power. Ask Chucky Schumer, all this debt y'all ran up since you've been in charge, Mr. Schumer. And he's been in charge of a whole bit of the debt. How do we get out of this? What will happen with this? I bet he'll lie. That's what they do. That's what they do best. And they convince their people of the lies, which, I mean, that's pretty talented when you can lie, the results never happen, and you still go vote for them. They lied to blacks. They lied to Hispanics. They're lying to women, okay? They lie. Let me tell you this. This thing on this Green New Deal on the planet and all these trillions of dollars we're spending on fake money going out, running our cost of everything, electric vehicles. I didn't say you can't buy one. That's fine. We don't go back to market. We're in big bad shape, and they put us in bad shape, and they don't care. The federal judges making decisions that they're making now, and even some of the Supreme Court decisions. I can almost tell you how the Democrats are going to vote on every decision that comes up to them. Somebody fussing at me because I called the Democrats like mafia. They said it's offensive to the mafia. You know, you might be right. I don't want the mafia knocking on my door. I apologize. So, James Carville, back on TV again with LSU gear. I wish he'd take it off. I wish somebody would get to him and say, James, if you're going to make a fool out yourself and continue to be a fool and to make a fool out yourself and embarrass the whole state, would you at least take, I think he's living in Bay St. Louis? I think he lives there. He's got the hell out of here, too. Out of New Orleans. And so James is all upset now that the Democrats got pounded. James, they did what you want them to do, get rid of the guy that lives in a basement. When Harris came on the scene, you never said Harris wasn't a good candidate. You didn't go against Harris. Now Carville's piling on the Democrats. He's a lifelong Marxist Democrat. He has no sense at all anymore. If I was a head of a TV, a network, ABC or whatever, I would send out a memo. Anybody that interviews James Carville and puts him on TV, you will be fired immediately. If the media was smart, they would do that. This guy is out of it, man. So anyway, now he's mad at the Democrats. Veteran Democrat strategist James Carville was critical of Vice President Harris's campaign this week. Why? The week before, they asked him who's going to win. He said Harris is going to win. What is he critical for? He wasn't critical during the campaign. Saying it's unfoundable spending could hurt the Democrat brand and lead to irregular audits. The Democrat brand, if people would look at the Democrat brand for what it is, they would never be involved in Marxism and socialism and communism again, because that's the Democrat brand. Everybody's seen this now. You should have seen it when Barack Obama got in here, who hates America. But no, not this man. James Carville never says anything about Barack. Barack ran the whole show. The resistance is going to have trouble raising money. These fundraisers are burnt, Carville said during the Thanksgiving episode of Political War Room. They're really pissed now. And the damage that the 24 campaign has done, Carville said, Carville's comments came as Harris' campaign spending came under scrutiny in the aftermath of the loss to President Trump. Campaign raised nearly $1.5 billion all over the world, Hollywood elite leftists. I think Trump spent about less than $500 million. $20 million still in debt. People have asked him to throw his hat in the ring to run the Democrat Party. He suggested a bid wasn't on his to-do list. Folks, I wish they'd audit all of it. I would say the policy is, number one, we're going to audit everything. We're going to audit the campaign. We're going to audit Future Forward. We're going to audit the DNC so people can know. But I'm telling you, without complete transparency, the campaign, we think raised $1.5 billion. Okay, we know that Future Forward, the last we saw was $900 million, so we can assume they got $1 billion before election. It's $2.5 freaking billion. Does anybody have an idea where the money went? I mean, I have some places I can start looking. So now he's upset with the Democrats and upset with Harris, but that was his endorsed candidate. You know? Listen, he's a nut. He's a crazy. He's as crazy as anybody that's out there, James Carville. I don't claim him. Y'all can claim him. I don't think he's funny, but I've been telling y'all that for about 8-10 years now. I don't think the guy's that cute. I don't think he's funny. I think, as Rush labeled him, old serpent head. And he looks like old serpent head. But, man, I wish they would get him off of TV. And if nothing else, I wish they would get the LSU gear off of him. He's embarrassing. Totally embarrassing. But this is what I expect from them. But this was his candidate. He didn't say none of this. He did not say any of this while the campaign was going on. None of it. He said Harris would win. He says he knows. He's stupid. One of the dumbest things I've ever seen him put on TV is James Carville. By the way, ESPN, the only guy they ever apologized for having on TV was James Carville. Do you know that, Walker? So that's how stupid he is. Boy, he doesn't do Louisiana proud. He embarrasses Louisiana. And I wish he'd take the LSU Tiger stuff off, you know. You know, James, why don't you take the LSU Tiger stuff off? You know, put a picture of Kamala Harris or Obama on your front page. That would be better. All right, we got to take a break. You're listening to the Moon Reform Show. News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Brobridge, Lafayette, a Town Square media station, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pro Studio.
Republicans think President Biden went too far. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Not only did he pardon his son Hunter, which the president said over and over he would not do, it's full and unconditional, covering more than just the felony gun conviction and tax evasion he pleaded guilty to.
It's any crime he committed whatsoever for 11 years, which raises the question, what crimes does Joe Biden think his son has been committing for the last decade plus?
GOP Senator Tom Cotton also tells Fox.
It also raised the question of whether Joe Biden is going to pardon his brother as well, who was up to his neck in the Biden family influence peddling operation.
House Republicans have been investigating Biden family business dealings in an impeachment inquiry, also probing if the president was involved. President Biden's left all the controversy behind. He's on a 3-day trip to Angola and Africa. Before leaving, he put out a statement saying Hunter was singled out and selectively prosecuted. President-elect Trump calls the pardon a miscarriage of justice. Now, he also believes he's been singled out with prosecution, so the president-elect is planning to overhaul the Justice Department. His nominee for Attorney General, Pam Bondi, is supposed to meet today with Republican senators.
Bondi has been serving as Florida's Attorney General. She has repeatedly sued the Biden administration over its open border policies. She's been a longtime Trump loyalist.
Fox's Bill Maluja near the Trump estate in West Palm Beach, Florida, also reports Trump as a nominee to take over as FBI director.
Here's where things get tricky. The current FBI director, Christopher Wray, is in the middle of his 10-year term, which doesn't expire until 2027. So if Trump wants Kash Patel to be his FBI director, not only does Patel have to be confirmed by the Senate, it looks like Trump is going to have to fire Christopher Wray.
A record number of Americans went through airports yesterday, going home after Thanksgiving. The TSA reports 3.09 million passenger screenings, more than the record set July 7th. And today, Americans are expected to set an online shopping record on this Cyber Monday. America's listening to Fox News.
Life takes a toll on our bodies, no way around it. Whether it's sitting hours on end at your computer or working a physical job, over time, your body pays the price. There is, however, an effective way to turn back the clock on pain. Relief Factor. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor helps support your body's response to inflammation. The difference, instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it for good. And it's 100% drug-free. If the pains that come with living a full life are affecting you, do as so many others have. Turn back the clock on pain with Relief Factor. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. When you feel good, it's amazing how much more you get out of life. So visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Try it for only $19.95. While we can't stop aging, not yet. We can stop pain. Turn back the clock with
Court-appointed special advocates, or CASA, are specially trained volunteers that help secure safe homes for abused and neglected children. Don't let these innocent victims slip through the cracks of our complicated legal system. Get involved today. Call CASA at 268-5111. This nonprofit organization moment brought to you by News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
Every day at 5 p.m. right here on News Talk 96.5 KPEL, it's me, Joe Cunningham, with The Joe Cunningham Show, offering you news, analysis, and commentary you're not going to get anywhere else. The big news stories of the day, and even some of the headlines you may not be aware of. It's your local, state, and national news coverage from a local perspective right here. Every day, News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Check us out, The Joe Cunningham Show, every day at 5 p.m.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Hi, hello. Welcome back. Moographone Show. Great to have you back with us. 844-766-6607. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. If you want to be a program, don't forget you can win Canberra pecans. All you can do is email me like people are doing, saying they want to win, leave an address. We're going to pick two today because I was not here on Friday. So we'll pick a second one today for Friday and a Monday winner. So you got double your chances today. And listen, I'm going to move on from James Carville, just embarrassing to everybody. You ought to see the comments on some of these stories of people just ripping his head off. Just ripping his head off. And I just embarrassing. Just take the LSU gear off. Come on now. Embarrassing. Have somebody like that running around. Oh, he's funny. He's not funny to me. He's embarrassing. How can a guy be funny if he's embarrassing? And this is who the Democrats, and he didn't say none of that stuff before the election. Now that they lost, now they're blaming everybody, you know. I saw George Clooney blaming Obama because when Clooney came out and said that Joe needs to go, and by the way, Carville had said Joe needed to go before Clooney, so Obama's blaming Clooney. And it's just unbelievable. It's just totally unbelievable. But I'm telling y'all, that is a party of hate and filth. There's nothing like the Democrat Party before Bill Clinton. Not even close. It's not even in the same ball game anymore. That party is gone, man. Just totally gone. Somebody said they call him the Raging Cajun. He's not even Cajun. Yeah, well, once again, when you deal with liars, they'll take whatever they can get, and that's what he is. He's a big liar too. And I don't understand it. I just trying to figure out why people think that's colorful. I used to say the same thing about Edwin Edwards, and nobody believed me either. So I just kind of moved on from him. But this Carville fella is a joke, just a joke, you know, and just run his mouth about the crap he don't know nothing about. That thing is come and gone and passed him up. He didn't bring down Barack Obama's Marxist, communist ways either. He supported that too. I put Obama won twice. Yeah, well, that's what they say. Joe Biden, though. Joe Biden got 15 million more votes than Barack. Somebody ought to throw that to Carville and see what intelligence would come out of his mouth. He said, well, you know, Joe Biden didn't even campaign, got 15 million more votes than Obama, more black votes than Obama got. Really? What did he do to get it? It's called mail-in ballots. Count them till you got enough to win. Still, and like I said, with this pardon of Biden, I think it opens up a golden opportunity for Trump to come in and pardon some people that need to be pardoned, especially the J6 group. That would be the group that Bill Cassidy, as I played that before, as Cassidy said that Trump started the mob and the run. Cassidy said that. He'll be running in 2 years, folks. He'll be running in 2 years. 2026. We get old Bill Cassidy out there with all his money trying to change the narrative in the Senate race. And the narrative he can't change because his votes and his vote for all this Green New Deal stuff, he can't change none of that. By the way, a couple of things. I mentioned the Keystone Pipeline. I was just disappointed. Company invested billions of dollars in the pipelines and really got messed around by government because Keystone Pipeline, you know, it just became a They just run it into the ground, and that's what Democrats do. And there was no reason for the oil not to go through those pipelines. And the people that were against this, of course, the environmentalists. They were worried about the environment, climate concerns. Another lie. Barack Insane Obama rejected the project in 2015. Trump reversed the decision when he took over in 2017 to allow it to proceed. Biden canceled the pipeline in 2021. Barack Insane Obama, right there, folks. Once again, he didn't want this pipeline, trying to save the planet. And there's no planet that needs to be saved. We need to be saved. The planet needs to be, we need to be saved from the planet eating us up, not the other way around. We can't harm it. And people that claim that are really cuckoo. They really are. Another article today from Bob Marshall in the Devil's Advocate, once again, spewing out ignorance and craziness with the Devil's Advocate. But unfortunately, they keep letting him put it out. Just sincere. The other thing, New York City, home to nearly 60,000 criminal illegals. 750 illegals currently live in New York City. See, I think everybody ought to be sent there. By the way, one of the best articles I saw? And by the way, all these illegals, this is all Democrats. So if somebody was raped, Joe Biden and the Democrats. Somebody was killed, Joe Biden and the Democrats. If your home was ramshacked by illegals, Joe Biden and the Democrats. Nationwide numbers largely mirror those in New York City. Data showed 662,586, or 8.6% of the 7.8 million illegals living in the United States, currently having criminal convictions or charges pending. Folks, that's another thing they lied about, the numbers. There's only 7.8 million. I bet you it's 25 or 20 to 30 million. And I bet you I have no scientific proof, and I'll guarantee you I'm closer to the number than they are. Because I don't have to be political, they have to. It's just no telling. No telling how many. And criminals and people emptying jails, and we never stopped it at one time. Did you hear Barack Obama or James Carville say, hey, Joe, you need to stop these illegals coming across? Not one time. Not one time did Carville stand up and say that, did he? Not one time did he talk down on fentanyl. And, of course, he believes in killing babies in the womb all the time. I told you, if you really believe killing a baby in the womb is nothing wrong with that, you can believe anything. You can buy into anything if you believe that one thing right there. If you're going that low to believe that killing a baby in a womb is okay and should be allowed, then everything else I talked to you about gender or anything else, you're not going to understand. Drugs coming across the border, I can't explain that to you because you don't have the ability to understand it. 60,000 criminal illegals in New York that they know of. 60,000. It's shocking that Democrats have gone so far out of the way to harbor gang members, drug traffickers, and other criminals who are in this country illegal. And they have. This is who the party is. They're the ones that get rid of the police movement. Check out everything they're doing on that side, and you'll find it's un-American, it's unchristian, it's un-American, it's ungodly, it's against freedoms. That's the Democrat Party now. That's what makes me mad that the House is only about a 2 or 3 vote margin for the Republicans, and people vote for these people. And these Democrats are the ones that vote like this. It's just ludicrous. It just is, and yet American people have spoken, but I don't understand. We spoke in the presidential race. Why didn't we speak more in the House races? And I'll tell you what part of it is, and people are going to get mad at me, but get in line. When you give a district to people like Cleo Fields, by the way, we weren't the only state that was stupid enough to give a district to Cleo Fields. Republicans in this state gave Cleo Fields a district. I dare one of them to call me and argue with me. You don't give districts to people like Cleo Field. Cleo Fields don't give a damn about his own people. He don't care about the state. Cleo Fields is in it for Cleo. You don't give him a district. You don't. And I blame that on the Gov and the Republicans. You don't give Cleo Fields a district. You beat him back on a district. I mean, you beat him back. You make sure he never gets one. Bill Edwards couldn't get him one. But let me tell you something. They redistrict. This is why when Trump, God bless him, in 2020, when the census, he tried to get it where illegals can be counted, but not in the total census, because here's what's happening. Because the left, and they have some Republicans too, and Democrats, once again, they want everybody counted. It shifts districts all over the state, all over the country. It shifts districts when you're counting illegals as citizens. If you pull them out, then the right number of congressional districts for every state, you would have the right district. But let me tell you what they do when they form another district, okay, and it's got illegals and they count it and that's a Democrat, they're automatically going to win a district. They set it up to win those districts. That's why you don't count them all. You don't say, okay, we got a population of what is it, 340 million. You take the illegals out, the illegals, let's say they're 30 million. Then you count 310 million, you do the census based on 310 million. But you know why they don't want to do that? Because census and people mean money and power to the Democrat Party, and they want the power. They want the power to run us to communism, because that's who they are now. Marxists and communism. They're not for freedom. They're not for that. Hell, you got to go buy most of the Democrat votes to get them whatever you want them to do anyway. There's no belief system in the Democrat Party. So you got to go back. Trump tried to get them to do that, and of course, in 2020, Nancy Pelosi was the Speaker of the House. They wasn't going to do that. And then the courts said you can't do that, and you can do that. Why are we counting people that don't belong here? You don't count them and then award a congressional district. That's why the Democrats are staying close. They picked up 14 or 15 new House districts, and then Louisiana just gave one away. Just give it to Cleo Fields. Why would you give anything to Cleo Fields? Let him earn it in the back rooms with his cash like he normally does. Unbelievable. Anyway, let me take a break. 844-766-6607 is the number. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. Giving away some pecans. 2 winners today. We'll take a break. Be right back.
As Louisiana's only fiberglass manufacturer and fabricator, C-Safe Fiberglass Grading and Structural Systems has provided corrosion-resistant products to the Gulf Coast for over 45 years. Our fiberglass grading, cable trays, and structural shapes are ideal to replace corroded, rotting building products and can be custom fabricated by the best fiberglass craftsmen in the world, right here in Lafayette. Contact C-Safe or visit our website at csafe.com. That's S-E-A like the ocean, S-A-F-E.com.
This is Moon Griffon. The sun has never raised its rates, but your local energy company sure has. Solar Louisiana can install residential home solar systems with huge battery storage, or they can add batteries to your existing system. If there's an outage, you are sitting pretty with all the electricity you need. Imagine an electric bill so low, you can pay it with pocket change you find in your couch. Solar Louisiana has the experience you need to make the right decision. Online at solarlouisiana.net. Your energy independence company, Solar Louisiana. With 5 Louisiana locations, I always make it a point to visit Superior Grill when I'm traveling in the great state of Louisiana. I love the food there. It's authentic Mexican food with a Louisiana twist. Their menu has all your favorites: nachos, quesadillas, enchiladas, tacos, fajitas, hand-cut steaks, and the best margaritas in the state. You can go to Superior for lunch or dinner, and folks, you're going to thank me for it. My lovely bride and I eat at Superior Grill every chance we get. They're on Line Avenue in Shreveport, Government Street, and Highland Road in Baton Rouge, St. Charles Avenue in New Orleans, and on College Saloon in Lafayette. I'm talking great food, great service, and great margaritas. The best Mexican food with the Louisiana twist is found at Superior Grill, Shreveport on Line Avenue, Baton Rouge on Government Street, and Highland Road, New Orleans on St. Charles Avenue, and College Saloon in Lafayette. This is Moon Griffon. I'll see you at Superior Grill.
Everywhere you turn.
What's one of your favorite memories?
Let's see. Well, there was this one time I went snorkeling in the Caribbean when I was a kid. It really just blew my mind. I mean, when you're sitting on the beach, it's so peaceful and you sort of forget there's a whole other world under there, just full of all kinds of life. We saw the most beautiful corals. I remember thinking they were waving at us as they moved with the ocean. And then there were all these amazing fish. They kind of reminded me of tropical birds. They were so bright and colorful, just darting all over the place like birds in the sky. I'll never forget it. It completely changed the way I look at the ocean.
Most of us have a memory of being in nature we'll never forget. Let's protect the world's natural places so more memories can be made for generations to come. Visit worldwildlife.org.
Atlas Foundation Repair, 800-256-1010. Louisiana-owned Atlas Foundation Repair, 800-256-1010. Call Tony Arpino. I have known him for years. Yeah, that was on the deal right there. Democrats still scrambling after election drubbing. I didn't realize, it took me a little while to realize they got hammered. People in America said enough's enough. Anyway, Matthew Jane Business Tax Reduction Hotline, if you want to be part of the program, 844-766-6607. It was a drubbing. It was like I've never seen. I mean, I say that, got to go back to Reagan. They keep blaming their candidate. No, I think what happened was American people woke up and said enough's enough. Even the traditional unions and all that wouldn't endorse the Democrat candidate, Harris. Somebody heard a gentleman a couple of weeks ago explain about counting illegals in the census for apportionment. Probably cost Louisiana one congressional seat and gives nationwide Democrats an additional 6-7 seats. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Louisiana was going to lose anyway because other states are growing and we're not. And I don't know when that changes. I'm hoping. I know the governor's touting some of the stuff that we're doing that will change that, and I hope he's 1,000% right. But I know that's what's happening. I just know that they. I mean, look. You got to remember what we're dealing with. You looked at Joe Biden, what he did yesterday, pardon Hunter Biden. They just lie. They're lying about the numbers. If you look at the court and the trial lawyers and all these lawyers that are on the Democrat side, always on the Democrat side, they'll spend every penny they got to spend. You see, when you see these big projects go out like the Green New Deal and all that stuff, I'll use none other than Bill Edwards. Bill Edwards is making money as an attorney for a company, and they're getting all these contracts with the Green New Deal, and they always make sure federal projects go to the big Democrats because the big Democrat donors, they get the projects, and then when elections come, they put the money back into a percentage of that money goes back to the Democrat donors. So when the federal government, when they did all this Green New Deal stuff, people were giving money. How did Harris raise $1.5 billion, $2 billion? Right, all that the green money. When you're putting out trillions, what's a couple billion to come back for a presidential election? I'm just being blunt how it works. That's how it works. Get these big contracts. It always involves lawyers, and they make tons of money, and then lawyers turn around and give money to the Democrats. That's how it works. It's it's just phenomenal to me. The other thing was Governor Landry's having a big announcement tomorrow. We already kind of know what it is. Wednesday the 4th at the Rayville Civic Center. This is everything to do with an AI project. Governor Landry, Louisiana Economic Development Secretary Susan Bourgeois will announce details of a major economic development project in North Louisiana. Executives, other state and local officials will be in the audience. Noon, 11 o'clock at the Rayville Civic Center. I lived up there for 35 years, know right where it's at. They're going to get a good crowd. That's great. Here's the only thing I'm going to say, and this is not a cut on it. We already know what's coming because, was it Greg Hillman, who never gets it right, did a story the other day, but the governor's going to make it official on Wednesday. And all I'm going to say about this is I hope, I've seen it do it so many times. Please tell me this is not another announcement that never happens. People up in North Louisiana, and I lived there for a long time. It's gotten to be, if it's farmland and all that, but a lot of people have moved out of the northern part of the state. And they were promised car manufacturers from Jindal and Blanco and Edwards promised, and all this stuff was promised, and it never comes true. And I'm just hoping when the governor goes up here and cuts this ribbon, or whatever they're doing, whatever they're announcing, folks, this got to happen. North Louisiana's tired of hearing about projects that never come. I mean, they are tired of it. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of watching them make announcements only to find out that it didn't happen. It's not going to happen. People can live with hope. False hope is a bad thing. Hope is an awesome thing. So I hope whatever they're going to announce, and I'm pretty sure it's dealing with the AI. I really wish they had a start date, and all that stuff. But if it's going to be, we're doing this, but it's not going to start until 2028, I wish they wouldn't do the announcement till 2027. I just know what I see in Louisiana, and I'm hoping the governor and them got this right on the money, right on the price, because it's needed up there. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, got to take a break. More to come. Moon Griffon Show right after this.
If you or a loved one are suffering from addiction, listen to Springfield Wellness Center's founder, Paula Norris Metayer.
We help people through their detox with minimal withdrawal symptoms. Even though it's a 10-day treatment, I look at the first 4 or 5 days as the brain restoration piece. And when the brain restoration piece turns on, that's when we have patients go, wow, a light bulb turned on or a switch was turned on. All of a sudden, their prefrontal cortex is working. And their midbrain is also working. They're not craving. They're thinking clearly. They see things clearly. And they have more confidence.
Put your addiction behind you. Call Springfield Wellness Center, 225-755-9566.
Just call us. That's all. And we'll be waiting for you.
225-755-9566. 755-9566. Springfield Wellness Center. SpringfieldWellnessCenter.com.
I've been bragging about Dino Hardwoods for a long time. My good friend Charles Altman, they do an excellent job. And if you're looking for unique or hard-to-find hardwood lumber, plywood, and molding, it's Dino Hardwoods. That's where you need to go. DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com. Trust Dino Hardwoods for all your hardwood lumber and cypress needs. With the holiday season fast approaching, as you know, a timeless handmade gift using quality lumber by Dino just means more. With 3 great locations to serve you now, Broussard, Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana, and now he's expanded in Tyler, Texas. Folks, there's something for every discerning woodworker at Dino. Go to DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com, and check out the unique and hard-to-find hardwood, lumber, plywood, and molding that you can't just find anywhere. Charles Altman, trust me, is not a better man in the business. He knows what he's doing, and he wants to service you. DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com.
This holiday,
I heard the call to serve, so I answered. I earned a title and discovered my purpose. I found belonging, an unbreakable bond with my fellow Marines. We fought to overcome adversity together in defense of our nation and its people. I've lived a full life, rich with meaning. And even though I no longer wear the uniform, I am still a Marine. My service has come full circle. I will always look after those around me. I will always uplift and support my country and my community. Because that is the promise I made. That is what it means to be a Marine. Semper Fidelis. Always faithful, always Marine.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
I asked what kind of family she wanted. She said, a family like yours.
Learn more about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This hour brought to you by the Matthew James Tax Pros. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
All right, folks, how y'all all? Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show, always pumped up, always glad to be with you. 844-766-6607 is the number. If you'd like to be part of the program, it's your opportunity to be a voice. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. Going to give away 2 Cane Rib Pecan giveaways. All you can do is email me, moon@moongriffon.com. We'll give away 2 Cane Rib Pecans. Great for gifting. Matter of fact, got to do it this week. Get my stuff, get my list, get it ready to go so Cane Rib Pecans can do what their magic is to deliver pecans gifting for my customers, and it's a great thing. By the way, there was a op-ed in Canadasfreepress.com, and this is what I was talking about earlier, and I came across this. And it's a memo to the Democrat Party establishment. Stop blacklisting black men. I'm a supporter of community, and in the spirit, I offer a supreme suggestion to those who get the most of the support from community members. In other words, Democrat, stop blacklisting black men. Repeat, stop blacklisting black men. Point 1, Democratic establishment dislikes, it hates traditional masculinity. They do. That's why you got all this stuff with transgender and abortion and women, and they hate it. Or they ought to love Trump. Trump's got a bunch of powerful women getting ready to go in there. Conservative white men are seen as a symbol of traditional manhood who must be toppled in order for the Democratic establishment to win its war on the status quo. Understand, everything with the Democrats is about bringing people down. I've been saying this. They never build anybody up. If you bring them down, you'll be as good as them. No, why don't you get people lifted up where they can be as good as them? That's what Democrats have always done, folks. That's who they are. That's who they are. It's always about bringing people down. You know, think about inflation. You know, they jacking the prices up and they think, well, people need better minimum wage and all that. It's all crazy talk. Despite the political tears of Van Jones and sassy scolding of Roland Martin, black men collectively remain one of the last bastions of traditional masculinity in the country. I agree with that. And that's why they broke away from Harris and Obama. I don't think black men, I think they despise Barack Obama, if the truth is known. Compared to what black men that I know, masculinity, they look at Barack Obama, I think they laugh at him. This despite historic effort to demonize or emasculated black men. Democratic establishment told power-hungry black women that black men are carpet to wipe their feet up. It just goes on and on. I'm not going to read you all the boring details, but it's pretty good. It ends up power-wielding black men responded on November 5th to what the black Democrats are trying to do to them by either strategically not voting essentially a loud no vote against Harris or casting enough ballots for the opponent Donald Trump to make the entire political world sit up and take note. Stop blacklisting black men, though we both know the Democratic establishment can't help but to do so, just that in order to better control our communities. And look, what I said before I read this, I outlined this article before I even said what I said, and I said, let me go back and take a look at it. And I didn't even get to the bottom of it. But when they say better control our communities, if people would look at what the Democrat Party has been doing to blacks from time began, blacks would never vote for a Democrat again. They don't have your best interests at heart. They would rather an illegal thug come in and take your place. That's the Democrat Party. That's black and white. And I said that earlier in the program without even reading to the end of this. Black men had enough. They're not, Democrat Party is nobody's friends. They're big political donors' friends. That's it. This party is a hateful party, folks, and until everybody realizes it in the Democrat Party, if you want to be run by what they're doing, you'll never be free. You notice Democrats never talk about freedom. They never talk about being the best you can be. They never talk about getting out of the way and you go be the best you be. That's a Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump thing. They never do that. Tell me somebody gets on TV and says, hey, we're going to be, this is what they do. Well, Barack Obama and Michelle always talk about how, oh, no, you don't want to get government out. Government's your friend. Government's going to take care of you. Government's not going to take care of you. There's not a government in the world that's going to take care of the people. You can't. People need to take care of themselves. I got to take care of myself. That ain't selfish. That's a fact. You got kids at home. You got to go to work. You got to pay the rent. You got to eat. I'm not expecting the federal government to give me a check, but that the Democrat Party has taught people to depend on that federal check. And that federal check will get you broke quick. They don't want you to be free and go be the best you can be. That's why they got inner cities that look like Europe. Everybody just stuffed in one place. Here's what you get. Vote for us. They go out and they give to a lot of pastors, not all, pastors and these so-called political leaders with blacks, and they deliver everything they need for the Democrat Party. And what's delivered back to them? Nothing. And it ain't going to be delivered back to them. It's impossible. And like I said, before I read this article, I told y'all earlier, the black man's getting it. He's understanding it. These people ain't doing nothing for me. And look, here's another problem. People go, well, what is I had black men tell me, what are Republicans going to do for me? It ain't their job to do nothing for you. You realize I depend on the Republicans for nothing? Now, right now, we're in such a bad situation, I'm depending on them to at least save somewhat of our republic that we have. How many of you people out there in the real world, black or white, are sitting around going, well, just wait for the government to take care of me. I wait for the government to make a decision. I wait for the government to send me my check. I'll go to government health care. If you're waiting for that, I got news for you. You're going to lose. Everywhere this has been tried in every country, it's been failure after failure after failure. It's not going to work here either. You think the government's so smart? I mean, we got Hollywood people that made a lot of money like Bill Gates telling you what to do with a virus. They don't know nothing about Bill Gates don't know nothing about a virus. Bill Gates wants us to eat meat grown from a lab. How stupid is that? And the guy's worth billions. Don't mean he ain't stupid. Well, he's crafty. He's cynical. Anybody that's pushing the Green New Deal from the media to people that you know are liars. I don't care if you're in the oil and gas business, you're a liar. Carbon capture ain't saving anything. Waste of money. You can have all companies like Exxon telling Trump, don't take away all of our subsidies. Why? Money. Ain't no sense in it. That's what blows my mind. You notice I'm not saying pushing Republicans on anybody. I mean, when you get a Bill Cassidy Republican, are you excited? You get a John McCain Republican, a Mitt Romney, you excited? No. Not at all. They're not going to be excited about it because they just got an R by their name. They ain't much different than the craziness on the left. People are starting to see the craziness. That's the beautiful thing of this is people are starting to see the crazy. And I think black men have woken up. When they look at somebody like Barack Obama, they don't see some kind of great leader in Barack. They see somebody who played the system, got with the right people, and the Soros and the bad people on the left. They know what Barack is. Barack needs soft men. You can't get to communism if you don't have soft men. No way. There's not a chance you can get to communism unless you got soft men, people willing to give in. That's the politics. Like Barack Obama, he's a softie. He's a hateful communist, but he's a softie. Got in power, did what he wanted to do because he got protection. Barack Obama, man, what a joke. Just a total joke. But James Carville didn't go after him because he won elections and kept the Democrat Party in. I'm just telling you. But the black men are waking up. I ain't saying they run it over to Republicans and shaking their hands, say we love y'all. That's not what they're doing. But the black men are seeing what I've been seeing and people have been seeing for a long, long time. And kudos to them. Good for them. Good for them. They standing up and saying enough of you. They seeing what the Democrats have done to families, and they've ruined cities and families with their stupidity policies that don't work and never will. Let's take a break. 844-766-6607. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Nestled in gently rolling hills in North Louisiana is a place that produces the finest Louisiana wines around, Landry Vineyards. This place is phenomenal. Not only are they passionate about growing wine grapes and making Landry Vineyards wine, they also have cottages and RV sites you can rent, tours, and live music on Saturdays and tastings Monday through Saturday. Available in over 650 stores throughout Louisiana, I encourage you to visit and try Landry wine direct from Landry Vineyards. This is another great Louisiana company that has my full support, and they're Louisiana certified. A red blend they labeled Bayoutage, Blackberry Merlot, Cabs, Rosé, Petite Syrah, dry and sweet whites, and many, many other wines. Learn more about their wines and their vineyard online at LandryVineyards.com. This is Moon Griffon. My lovely bride and I love the wines from this great Louisiana company, Landry Vineyards, and so will you. Go visit their beautiful winery and find them in your local grocery store. If they don't have Landry Vineyards wine, ask and ask again. LandryVineyards.com. Woo, good wine right here. When you think about how you'll spend your money in retirement, what comes to mind? Probably travel, sunny beaches, and spoiling your grandchildren. But a recent survey found that over 30% of every dollar a retiree spends goes to taxes. Baby boomers were told for years to save money in their IRAs and 401ks and pay taxes later. Well, now that day has arrived, and boomers are shocked to see a third of their money going back to Uncle Sam. John Blanchard and the Matthew James Financial Group can help. What if you could protect all or most of your retirement wealth from future tax rate increases? Achieve a zero or near zero effective tax rate for most of your retirement years. Find out more. 337-366-8366. Isn't it time you got a second opinion on your wealth and retirement outlook? Learn how you could potentially kick the IRS out of your IRA. 337-366-8366. and online at MatthewJames.com.
LA 130.
Every day, Mark fights retinitis pigmentosa, a blinding retinal disease. But even while his vision is taken, his family gives him hope. Because whether he's helping run their business or enjoying time at home with his wife and sons, Mark knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding diseases, providing real hope to those fighting vision loss. And our nationwide community of local chapters provides networking and support for people with vision loss, as well as their loved ones. Because the best way to fight against blinding diseases is to fight together. And for Mark, winning the fight against vision loss means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Learn more about how you can help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Hello, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. What a great day. Great day to be with you. Great to be back. 844-766-6607 is the number if you'd like to be part of the program. It's the Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. By the way, what was the name of the car company, automobile manufacturing company, electric vehicle company, Reliant or something like that? They went out of business and went bankrupt. Joe Biden just gave them $6 billion. Okay? $6 billion. He's walking out the door, handing out checks. Now he's committed another company, and I'm not going to remember if I'm correct on this, but I think this company went bankrupt as well. Stellantis Venture to build 2 electric vehicle battery plants in the USA. The United States is committing $7.54 billion. Why is your tax dollars and mine going to things that have already failed? Why can't they, if it's such a great deal, why ain't the American people investing in it? Because it's not a great deal. How can a president, Biden, who we know lies, by the way, we know he's a gigantic liar. How can he just walk out and give billions of dollars away? It doesn't make any sense to me. How can you do that with our money? Joint venture with Samsung. SDI has won a commitment from the U.S. government. Now, the good news about this one, this is coming from the Energy Department. All this money going to create 2,000 jobs. The loans must be finished, but the government said the commitment shows its intent to finance the project. So they're trying to get the loan and get it done before Trump gets into office, because Trump pledged to end funding for such projects, what he called Green New Scam. And Trump is right. How can a president walk out of the door and do this? Rivian, that's the name of the company. Thank you. Rivian, bankruptcy. This company here, I think, went bankruptcy too. Energy Department didn't directly answer a question about whether the loan would be funded before the inauguration, but said it would be irresponsible for any government to turn their back on the private sector, pardon the state communities that are benefiting with lower energy costs and economic opportunities with loans. See, folks, they don't care that it's your money. They don't. The left never did care if it was. They don't care how much money they spend. They don't care about budget deficits. Laura, let me ask y'all a question, because I've been curious. When is all this green new energy going to lower our prices? When are the green new energy going to start lowering our prices? And I'll tell you something right, a little secret. Never. It's going to go up, 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 and it's not going to stop going up. It's never going to quit going up, folks, as long as the government's footing the bill. I'm just telling you, $6.85 billion. By the way, also $688 million in interest for the project. Last month, electric vehicle maker Rivian Automotive got a $6.6 billion loan to build a factory in Georgia that is stalled as a startup has struggled to make a profit. The loan announcement comes one day after Stellantis confirmed that CEO Carlos Tavares is stepping down after nearly 4 years at the top spot of the car maker that owns brands such as Jeep, Ram, you get it. The world's fourth largest automobile maker announced that the board, all of them are gone. Why? It's a failed project. It's going to be a failed project. It's just shocking that you can walk out as a president, hand billions of dollars to your friends on something that's going to fail. By the way, big article this weekend. Jeff Landry's tax package was in jeopardy. Here's how Cameron Henry saved it. I can tell you. Henry saved it because the Senate voted for it because there was massive tax increases in it. That's how it was saved. I'm just telling you why it was saved. We'll see if it delivers what the governor promises it will do. November 19th, Landry met with Senate Democrats in negotiation that led them to agree to the demands for higher spending on education and social issues. I don't understand something. This is what's blowing me away with this. We raise taxes. We cut deals with Democrats where they're going to get higher spending on education and social issues. How can you grow government and cut government at the same time? How can you grow government and then everybody's talking about how we're going to level this out if you're growing government? I don't know. You can't. Can you be conservative and liberal at the same time on money? I'm just asking. Because that's what it kind of looks like to me. By the way, here's something else. And I said this. The plan that they got, according to this article by, I want to say the twit, Tyler Bridges, thanks to other revenue-raising measures, the plan is likely to produce more money next year for the state of Louisiana. More money. Not less, more. Okay. I'm just sitting back watching. And by the way, don't forget we got the constitutional amendment next year. I'm just kind of wondering. So, according to Manish Bhatt, the Tax Foundation, I'm going to quote him real quick before we get off here. Adding the tax break back to the past, the final packages, however, kept the tradition. He cited the continuance of the film and historic building tax credits program and lawmakers' failure to pass Landry's initiative to begin taxing services. And having incentives that favor the industry or business, the tax code is picking winners and losers. That's not what a sound tax policy is. That's what the tax policy, now we're quoting the tax policy. And having incentives that favor an industry or business, the tax code is picking winners and losers. That's not sound. That's not what a sound tax policy said, okay? By the way, we were supposed to go from 40th to 8th. It's 40th to 26th. That said, 26, restoring the tax breaks granted to special interest groups hindered the state's progress in the group's ranking. There's room for further improvement. For every hard work in Louisiana, tax package means one thing: more of your hard-earned money will stay in your pocket. That didn't quite happen, according to an analysis by Neva Butka's state policy at our Institute on Taxation. I ain't gonna follow them; they crazy too. Anyway, we'll see how it all breaks down, folks. They started talking about population loss. They try to make a big deal that under Bell Edwards, salaries grew, folks. We did lose 130,000 people on the Edwards from 2016, almost 150,000. That's what we know of. But they act like numbers grew on the Edwards on people making money. You know what that was about? All COVID. All COVID. I'll explain that when I get back. For you leaving us, God bless. If you want to stick around, moongrafone.com. Listen live. Winners, Randy Hernandez in Shreveport and Linda Goforth in St. Martinville. Y'all are the pecan winners. Randy Hernandez in Shreveport, Lindy Goforth. St. Martinville. Congratulations, y'all, all the winners of the Cane Rip Pecans. We'll be right back.
For the absolute best in local Cajun food, check out Prejean's in their 2 locations in Carencro and Broussard today.